Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be going full TMZ over what is, for some reason, pretty much the biggest news story on the internet today. I mean, it's one of those things where typically I would never really care, but since it's such a huge name and it's like such a massive topic and it's sparked so much conversation, it's gotten to the point where like everybody seems to be kind of talking about it, right? And there's a lot of debate on whether or not this is a good thing, a bad thing, something people should even care about at all. So this is all based on a post that was made last night by someone by the name of Ashley St. Clair. I really don't know who this is off the top of the head. Like, I checked the account or whatever, and they have over 1 million followers, so she must be doing something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if she's a content creator or like an actress. I really have no fucking clue, but she made a post announcing that a few months ago she had a child by Elon Musk, which, if anyone is keeping count on the Elon child counter here, this would mark his 13th child that the world knows about. And not only is it his 13th child, but this is the 4th different baby mom that he has now knocked up and had a child with. So apparently the kid is born. It's been here for like 5 months or whatever. We're about to read this post here that kind of explains it all. So before we get into that, I do want to say, if you're brand new around here on the channel, make sure you hit like down below and the subscribe button. That way you never miss any of my future uploads. I'm trying to get back into the daily habit of uploading, have been doing so far this month. Make sure you do not miss out. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy and safety, but in recent days it has become clear that tabloid media intends to do so regardless of the harm that it'll cause. I intend to allow our child to grow in a normal and safe environment. For that reason, I ask that the media honor our child's privacy and refrain from invasive reporting. So this post blew up. It currently, as of me recording this video, has almost 30 million views in about 24 hours or so. So this has definitely become a pretty hot button topic over on the good old Tweetster. So there's been a ton of different discussion about this. Now, usually what I really care about, like a story of, oh, this guy had a child, guys, this celebrity you know had a kid, woohoo. No, usually I don't really give a fuck, but given that Elon Musk is the richest man in the world, he runs all these like influential, important companies, he's essentially a part of the fucking US federal government at this point with the whole Doge thing that's going on, I figure it's a pretty big topic. This isn't just some, you know, athlete, rapper, actor, waiter at your local Olive Garden who has basically had another child or whatever, because that obviously happens all the time and it's barely newsworthy. But the reason that people are so worked up on this is because clearly Elon Musk in the last couple years has shifted pretty far conservative in his ideology and like what he says. And he's always like upholding these like massive Christian values and these like trad conservative values, where it's like, oh, we need to restore the nuclear family and stuff like that, which obviously when you have 13 children by 4 different baby moms, it kind of throws a wrench a little bit into all of that, and a lot of people are calling this out. Now, at the same time, there's a lot of people who are actually defending Elon Musk, and they think that it's a good thing that he just had his 13th child by a 4th different woman, and they think that it's a net positive for everybody involved here. So it's created this massive discussion online about whether or not Elon Musk is just a conservative grifter who doesn't really believe in like the trad ideologies he's trying to promote and reinstill into the American public. There's a lot of like Elon defenders who are like, actually, it's a great thing that this has happened, right? So first, let's lay out what a lot of the like conservative ideology usually is here, right? Because that's like the main focus of a lot of this. So typically Elon and people around him, like I said, on the more right-wing side of things, they demonize people having children out of wedlock. They think that it's a bad thing to introduce children into the world that you're not going to take care of or like be directly responsible for. And truthfully, these are all things that I agree with. In any normal circumstance, I don't believe that people should just be having children that they have no intentions of taking care of, right? And I think that it's a massive problem that's plagued society for decades at this point. And it's both males and females that are responsible for this, but obviously given the fact that Elon is a father here, right, it's more focused and prioritized on the whole like fatherhood argument here. So real quickly, I just want to go ahead and put some facts on the screen real quick for us to read through about how important it is to have your father in the household as a child. So since 1970, the growth of single parent families has basically accrued the majority of the increase in childhood poverty. Children that are raised in single parent homes are more likely to have emotional problems, behave badly. They usually have poor impulse control, a weaker sense of conscience, difficulty delaying gratification. They're twice as likely to drop out of school as those in two-parent homes. And boys that are in one-parent families are more likely to be out of school and out of work. They're more likely to experience physical abuse. They're more likely to be exposed to cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, things like that, right? Now, granted, to be fair, I will say, a good portion of these problems will likely not apply to the child because, I mean, the obvious being stated here is Elon Musk is the fucking richest guy on the planet. So in terms of like the poverty and all of the different things that could equate to down the road for a child in a single parent household, a lot of these things more than likely will not apply considering it is Elon's kid. The woman, Ashley St. Clair here, is probably going to get a pretty hefty payday. You've seen like the child support that some of these like NFL players and shit have been paying for their babies. I gotta assume that Elon is probably going to be dishing out some pretty good figures financially to take care of the child. But the only problem is, and I think this is one that a lot of people defending Elon in this instance are kind of overlooking, is just simply throwing money at your child as a father doesn't raise the kid. It doesn't make the kid happier. It doesn't guarantee that the kid's going to turn out okay. Children, they need structure. They need their father to actually spend time with them, to instill morals and principles into them. This is like a very important part of being a father, being an active role in your child's life. Now, I will say I don't really see Elon being an adequate father in terms of like being in the house. And the obvious here is, well, first off, he has 13 children to take care of. So even let's assume that he does spend an adequate amount of time with the kids and like taking care of them, making sure he's being a father. Let's say he even spends like 20 minutes a day with his kids on average. Multiply that by 13, and it's a pretty significant portion out of the day. And we're not talking about like a significant portion out of the day of some guy who, you know, orders DoorDash, eats Cheetos, and beats off all day unemployed, right? Because his time doesn't really mean anything. We're talking about an Elon Musk here who, you know, he's running Tesla, SpaceX, the Boring Company. He's working in the fucking government with Trump on the whole Doge thing. He obviously owns X and he's trying to like make that something, right? The guy has his hands in so many different cookie jars that are so time consuming. They take so much energy and effort. I really find it quite unlikely that Elon is going to be able to fulfill these roles as a father. And there's already been plenty of accusations over the years that Elon doesn't even really do this for the kids that he already has. So there's a lot of people who are like defending this and they're like, oh, but every life is sacred and whatnot. And I understand that viewpoint. My whole point here isn't to be like, man, fuck that kid, it shouldn't exist, because honestly, if they're both happy with the fact that they had the child, then so be it. You know what I mean? That's a pretty big accomplishment. And I mean, if you're Ashley St. Clair here, the mother of this child, this has to be like the female equivalent to winning the fucking like World Cup. You know what I mean? You have basically gotten the richest man on the planet to come in you. And as a result, you now have a free paycheck for the rest of, you know, the next 20 years, basically. From the guy who has so many hundreds of billions of dollars, he probably couldn't spend all of it if he really wanted to. So for her, this is like probably a massive W, but there's a lot of like questioning about the timing of this and whether or not it's even real. Now, obviously, we're all basically operating under the assumption that this is a real story, right? Because why lie about this? It's fucking really stupid to lie about. And plus, Elon Musk has basically interacted with this woman on Twitter for years, making sexual innuendos and all kinds of different things. But basically, the reason this was supposedly announced was Ashley St. Clair and presumably Elon Musk, if he was involved in this at all, were worried basically that the media was going to report that this kid existed. They were going to like Pusha T versus Drake this whole thing and be like, you are hiding a child. And so I guess she just dumped it all out and just told the world basically what happened. But the issue here is that this post was made on Valentine's Day, which immediately made people assume that the reason this was actually announced is that maybe Elon was spending his Valentine's Day with another woman, right? Maybe a new 5th baby mother that he will be attempting to impregnate, right? And Ashley may have gotten a little angry about this and decided to just air it all out for everybody to see to get back at him. But of course, this is just a like conspiracy theory people are just kind of throwing around. It doesn't really have any actual merit to it, at least that I've seen. Much of this doesn't have a whole ton of merit. But the thing is this is obviously being treated differently, I think, by both sides than they would normally treat any other situation. And it's obviously because it's Elon Musk, it's such a public figure, one also that is quite divisive. You have a lot of people defending this who traditionally in any other instance would probably, criticize the people for having the child. A lot of Elon defenders who are like, oh, it's actually a good thing that he has over a dozen children by half a dozen different women. That's a good thing. But a lot of these people, if it were anybody else or it was any other predicament, they would be shaming these people for having the child. They would be shitting on them, saying that they shouldn't have had the kid. And their whole defense is just constantly, oh, but he's rich. He's rich, so he'll take care of the kid. I think at this point, we've kind of established that rich people don't take care of their kids a lot of the time. And Elon Musk has been accused of this anyway, right? Of just like not taking care of his kids or spending adequate time with them or favoring other children over the others in terms of like when he spends time with them. It doesn't add up. Like he has so much on his plate. I think it's actually impossible at this point for him to be an adequately available father to all of these children. And plus, he's like constantly in DC and Mar-a-Lago and then back in Texas. So you add in like all the traveling that he's doing, that obviously throws a lot of wrenches in on how you can take care of your children and what you can do for them. When it comes to the finances, sure, the kid will more than likely be taken care of for life. I mean, even if the child basically inherits a fraction of the father's wealth here, the kid will be a billionaire and will probably be set for life. But once again, money isn't everything. I mean, if you were lucky enough to have a father in your life, for instance, like when I was a kid playing baseball and stuff for my school, my dad was at all of my practices, was at all of my games. When I had events like choir concerts or whatever for school, my father was there watching these. My father paid attention to my grades. My father played video games with me. My father went outside and played catch with me. My father took me to the zoo, to baseball games, to the aquarium, right? Those kinds of experiences with your father are something that you cannot replicate. No matter how much money you throw at it, no matter how famous your dad is or how clouded up they are, these are things that every child deserves to experience. And they're foundations that set them up for the rest of their life. So for me personally, would I rather have Elon Musk as a dad or a father who, like I said, played catch with me in the yard and took me to my baseball games and patted me on the back when I did good? I mean, I'm gonna have to take my dad 10 times out of 10. So like I said, usually not something anyone would really give a fuck about, but it sparked such an insane debate over the last 24 hours since it's happened. I figured, fuck it, let's cover it. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubTheOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, talking about Elon Musk's new baby mama situation, and signing out.